welcome again. Thanks for attending. I'm Caroline with the U.S. Customer Marketing Team, again here with our Category Marketing Manager for Ergonomics, Lisa Skytobor, who's going to lead our training again for the lower body fit. Her knowledge is over 10 years of doing ergonomic assessments in all types of verticals. So here's a little overview of what Lisa will talk about. So she's going to be talking about how to improve workplace wellness with lower body fit ergonomics, like what is solutions that involve knowing the common pain points and how to fix them for the long run, a body part breakdown, common issues that we're seeing, and solutions and behavior trends in the workplace, and ideal solutions for every vertical. All right, that's it for me. And here is Lisa.
Thanks, Caroline. I want to start out in this second part of the lower body fit series here to really talk about what that means. Last time we focused on the upper body fit, but bringing it down to the lower half and talking about specific products and behaviors and what exactly that means. So as you can assume, this is going to talk about any portion of your body from the hips and below. So that includes your hips, your low back, which is going to be a really important theme today, as well as taking care of your feet and your legs overall. So if people are wondering why that's important, the strongest muscles that we have are in our lower body, and they help us do all of the really vital physical things that we do day to day. Things like standing, walking, running. I think we'd all agree those are all really important things to take care of. And so we want to make sure that not only are we providing healthy products for people, but also understanding the behaviors associated to them. So a fun fact to start out is that the average American worker spends around 38 minutes per hour slouching. So when I say that, I'm curious to know if a lot of you guys actually changed your posture, because I know that it's really easy to get in a poor posture, but doing this over time with that 38 minutes per hour, it really does lead to poor posture and undue stress on the hips and then the lower back specifically. So one of the other reasons why we want to bring lower body fit specifically up is that there is an absolute increased demand for ergonomics in every single vertical out there. I want you guys to pay attention to the transition slides that we go through today, that we've intentionally chose those photos to display ergonomics as well as device solutions in a multiple vertical solution. And so it's not just a typical cubicle environment or healthcare or anything like that, but we really can apply that to any type of atmosphere, and I'll try to point those out along the way. So from an employer's perspective, the increased demand, I wanted to bring up a case study that we have looked at, and it's from a large electronic manufacturer. They spent $355,000 on ergonomic improvements, and they measured the success of those. So with that, everyone likes to know that productivity number. With that investment, they were actually able to increase their productivity 37%. That is huge. And then there was also labor cost reductions of $100,000 per year. And then there was a $2.1 million savings of overall savings. And then the one that just blows me away every time I look at this is the ROI. And companies want to know when they're spending money on this type of equipment, what they're going to get in return, what kind of savings they're going to get. If you showed them that you would get a 1,675% ROI, that is like amazing savings. And it's all done with simple adjustments to a workstation. So that being said, the employer is looking at those savings, but then from an employee side, we want to know what makes them tick, what makes them want to come to work. And so with the employees, basically we want to make sure that the employees are happy and they're comfortable and feeling good to be at work. So in a survey that was done, 91% of workers at companies felt that if they had ergonomic solutions and well-being efforts put into their companies, they felt motivated to do their best. When the employee is doing their best and feel motivated to do so, that also makes them more productive, more likely to come to work every single day, and it just makes them feel like they have an increased morale about their job as well. So then lastly, with the industry itself, we want to look at how much impact this has on the industry and what those numbers are. So the Ohio State University in 2014 put a survey out just looking at how much certain different issues of our body actually cost. So for low back pain alone, pretty much everyone knows someone, if you're not experiencing it yourself, someone that has had low back pain at some point or another, maybe had surgery, maybe had some sort of adjustment. That number is equating to $39 to $78 billion. This is a huge, huge industry where we can certainly penetrate the market as valued partners and offer our customers really, really great solutions at a very affordable price point, but also giving you guys a larger margin besides just the device sales. So let's take a little bit deeper dive into what we have for you guys today. So this might look familiar, but it is slightly different from the upper body fit. But basically, we want you guys to be a valued resource for ergonomic information, not only on the product side, but understanding ergonomics as a whole. So that being said, we've taken the time to develop a stretch guide for each section of the body. This one specifically focuses on calf stretching, hamstring stretches, hips, and your back. All of these stretches can be done without any additional equipment. You can wear whatever clothing you have on, and you're able to do them very, very quickly in the space that you have, whatever type of office or setting you are in. This is important because it's a great resource that we've provided to you that you can share with your customers that gets the awareness out about physical well-being, but then also showing your commitment to caring about the customer beyond just the product sale. It's really important to note just the time that an ergo injury takes from a person in a company. So anytime someone is injured, the average amount of time that someone is off from work is actually 12 days. That's a really, really long time to be off work when you think about what we could do to prevent it with some really simple solutions that we'll look at today. So I wanted to pay attention to this slide right here that we are going to talk about pain points, but with this specifically, one area that people don't think about ergonomics a whole lot in is actually conference rooms. And so if you look, we've got the presenter, which certainly allows ergonomic advantages, but then also the docking solution and then that collaboration between people. It really is a great place to start implementing ergo solutions in. Even in this picture here, having an additional backrest where the chairs may not be the greatest, or you do spend a lot of time in there, it really affords an opportunity to think outside of the box of just a normal workstation. So looking at some of the most common pain points that are out there, people do not like to sit. Most people do have to sit throughout the workday. So in a survey, most people are sitting throughout the day of 68%. Of that, 61% of them, not surprising, dislike sitting all day. And then probably also not surprising to you guys, as probably most people don't like to be told what to do or when to do it, 84% of people prefer to be able to go between sitting and standing at will. So that shows kind of where that trend of sitting and standing at the workplace is coming from. In the survey that we took for a larger group, 36% of social media, or 36% of people would give up social media access for a month. So that's pretty close. That was the winner in our poll as well, that almost half of you guys would give up social media access. We didn't include the cable. For me, that's really easy. I personally don't watch a lot of TV. I don't have cable, so that's like a no-brainer. Sure, give it up. But it's pretty much in line that 17% said they would give up one vacation day a year just to sit less. We had 10% in our group, so that's pretty comparable. More people were willing to buy the entire office lunch, so maybe more people like their coworkers, but maybe they feel stronger in that area. But some of the most surprising ones is that people were willing to give up work at home flex time, which we didn't give you that option in our poll today, but then even taking a pay cut of up to 3%. So people feel really, really strong about not having to sit throughout the day because they want to get up and move, and they feel better when they're doing that. So they're willing to give up vital pieces of their life in order to be able to take that on. So thinking about how common different injuries are, if you guys weren't aware, after the common cold or just a general, sinus infection or something like that, back injuries are the most common reason why employees miss work within the general workforce. So that's not just labor-intensive jobs at a manufacturing place, that is in the office, that's in schools, that's in healthcare. So 79% of the back injuries that do occur in a work-related environment many of these could actually be prevented or at least the severity lessened with the use of something as simple as a backrest. And so I want to talk to you guys about some different aspects of backrest to look for and in some of the other products that we offer too, to make sure that you're able to advise your customers to pick the right product for them. And so some of the things to look for is making sure that it fits your body shape and that it can actually fit a wide variety of people as well, because we want it to be a solution you can apply to a business structure, not just an individual. So having something that can articulate with your posture and kind of move with you is a really big key to add on as a really inexpensive addition to a chair that you would already have. Also, having height adjustability in that lumbar area is key because not everyone's body is shaped the same. And if you're wondering what the lumbar support is, many of you may know, but if you don't, the lumbar is the lower portion of our back with our spine being more of like an S shape. That bottom portion of the S that's kind of inwards just a little bit, that's going to be the lumbar area. And you want to make sure that area is fully supported and not just kind of hanging out there. So having that really good supportive backrest is key. Also, as a consultant, one of the most popular questions I was asked is, how do you keep yourself cool during the workday when you're sitting against that backrest? Because a lot of them are hot material, they're not breathable. And so having that ventilated support that you can actually have, that breathability, is really nice to keep your back cool and dry, as well as additional comfort. And then most importantly, we want to make sure you keep moving. That's the trend. We want to make sure that you're continuously able to move throughout the day, even if you're stuck at that single desk throughout the day. So then also looking at some tactics for picking the right footrest and then the seat cushion. So with a seat cushion that stimulates the circulation as well as improves the lower body, and then using it in combination with a footrest, it really makes sure your lower half is at optimal comfort. The seat cushions that Kensington offers has what's called a Coccyx Cutout. And what that is it's a cutout in the back of the seat cushion. Many people try to use it backwards because they think that's how the legs sit on it. But that cutout portion actually goes towards the back of the seat. And what that does is allows the spine to be completely free of compression because nothing is resting on that spot. So even if you have a really cushy chair or it feels really comfortable, if you try one of those seat cushions that has that Coccyx cutout, it really gives your spine a lot of relief and the least amount of compression on it. With a footrest, you want to make sure that it's properly positioned and basically allowing your feet to be just out in front of you, no tight angles, and making sure that your back is supported. That may sound strange, but as soon as your feet are properly supported, not resting on the casters, not crossed your feet, not sitting Indian style, but actually supported properly, having a nice height adjustability to it and even rocking motion really takes a lot of the weight off your lower back, your hips, and then into your legs as well. So a couple more things as far as what to look at. We want to make sure that with all of these items, you want to make sure that it minimizes pressure in any space. And so with the seat cushion, it's going to minimize the contact between the tailbone and then the seat cushion. And then making sure that your legs are elevated out in front of you. That rocking motion, like I said, and having a foot pedal that would really lock it or allow it to move freely is great to have options. No matter how short or tall you are, a footrest is great to have so that you can feel proper support, but then also that increased circulation throughout the day. So looking at solutions for every single vertical, this slide right here shows what a hot desk could look like. So it's a really clean environment with the docking and these nice monitor arms, and then wrist supports and a nice clean keyboard. Those are really easy to apply into that space. And if you were to look underneath this desk, you'd see a footrest and probably a backrest. So adding on those solutions is a really easy way in any solution to provide ergonomic solutions there. So understanding the workspace for the customers is definitely key. I want to make sure that you guys see this statistic of 86% of office workers that have had some sort of soreness or strain. They say it's because of their office equipment or furniture. That's a huge statistic to pay attention to when we're trying to put these solutions into our customers' hands. So looking at how to understand that, what are their wants and needs, It's really important to ask the employer, your different customers, what they're hearing from their employees or where their injuries lie. And it may not be practical for you to stand up periodically, but if it is, you can think of sit-stand solutions. If it's not, thinking about those seat cushions and the backrest and the footrest, and those can be used in addition to the sit-stand options. But making sure that we're really looking at that unique ability to fit our customers' needs and understanding those practical solutions that come at a fraction of a price to those customers, but then offering you guys those huge margins compared to the device sales. Also, an important piece to look at is when we're seated in our chair, a really important tactic that people don't pay attention to is how our hips are and looking at that angle. If you remember from the upper body fit webinar, I talked about an analogy of a hose going through your carpal tunnel to allow the absolute most circulation into your fingertips. That same analogy applies into this lower body fit, thinking about our spine and then going into our legs. With that, we want to make sure that our legs and our angles are really nice and open. So no crunched angles, no tight positions in our body. We want to make sure that we're able to open ourselves up and really get that circulation flowing. So having our feet properly supported and making sure that we're able to actually have ourselves sitting back against that supported backrest and taking that compression off of our spine with that seat cushion really, really helps that customer get their workspace into the optimal comfort zone. So taking that information and then going into feeling well outside of work, you saw in the video that the art teacher actually saw the benefits outside of work, having more energy. Those things are invaluable to employees, but then also their employers, making themselves feel better. If you can offer the opportunity to your customers to make sure that they're offering that really good work-life balance, not only in that lower body fit, but then also introducing the Connect 4 aspect of it, of a really good fitting monitor arm that offers a lot of adjustability. You've got the ErgoSoft wrist rest or wrist support that's there with a really nice keyboard and mouse, and then a footrest or the anti-fatigue mat. All of those items are a very small fraction of a price to pay in order to give that feeling well benefit outside of work hours. So that's certainly something that we can hopefully drive home. And then going into the summary of what we've talked about today, basically we want to make sure that we know employers really do want a good setup for their employees. And you can see from the statistics earlier that employees want to be happy at work and employers want to get them there. You can see the ROIs that were there, and ergonomic solutions provide an improved productivity. The employees feel better and their morale is up. And then most importantly, from the employer side, there's huge financial gains, not only for them, but then for you as a partner as well. Also something to know is most people have had more than one chronic issue going on, which means they want and need not only one piece, but more than one piece of equipment that meets their needs. And it really only offers the opportunity to continue growth in this Ergo Solutions area. And then lastly, it pays to accessorize, truly aim to connect 4 solutions from head to toe. All of these come at a very small fraction of a price to provide an affordable price point, but then also large margins for our partners compared to just the device sales.
All right, well, thank you for attending our training on this how to master workplace wellness for lower body fit. I hope you guys found it helpful and learned a few things.